And if you would, grab a snapshot of this picture, and I'll press pause while you get that knocked out of the way. The next thing we want to do is talk about how do we get the inspection sheet open and actually start working on it on the tablet. So there's three different ways that can happen. The first one is in the top center of the tablet is going to be the default inspection that's configured for the shop. This obviously must be a brake shop because it says brake inspection, and yours probably should say courtesy inspection with education. Over to the right of it, there's another drop-down box that you can select from any of the inspection sheets that are configured for your shop. Press the drop-down arrow, open it up, and make your choice. The third, which is my preferred method, is by right on the labor line itself, by clicking on the icon that's actually put there by using the special or ultimate markers and configuring them properly, and that will actually open the associated inspection sheet. The good thing about that is as you start growing and getting more adept at using the inspection sheets, we have a lot of shops that have different inspections for charging and starting system, for electrical systems, for HVAC systems, and so on, and you can configure an inspection sheet to actually open on the technician's tablet directly by using the tools. So let's move over here and expand my tablet out. And on the tablet, there's some different hotspots on there. One that I already talked about is the camera icon. There's also another one down here where it says scan VIN, or sometimes it might be a red bar that says select vehicle information. This one over here, a technician can actually tap this and actually open it up and enter the new mileage for the vehicle. So the appropriate way to open one on a tablet is by going down and clicking the open vehicle button right below. And that's how I'm going to tap on my tablet right now. When it opens up on the tablet, you're going to see it's going to open on the work order screen. You can tap on the different areas above. So right now it's on worksheet. I'm going to tap on service history. I'm going to move over and tap on OEM recommendations are already listed. A technician can tap on that and open them up and make choices. And then also recommended jobs from prior visits. Recalls and TSBs are also available. A technician can simply tap on it and have them appear also. But what we really want to do now is touch back to worksheet and actually open up the inspection. So in this case, we can see that somebody's already started this inspection, and what I'm going to use is one of the functions to clear everything out. And to do that, I'm going to tap right on the top of the status icon, which in this case is going to be the red plus sign. And I'm going to say reset all items. And when I do that, I'm going to read the message and I'm going to say, yep, I better be careful because this can't be undone, and then click OK. So you can see that all good inspection sheets are broken down into usable chunks. So it's landed initially on road tests. I'm going to tap on in-car. You're going to see a change. I'm going to tap on under hood and under car. You can see all the topics that are under them categories. I'm going to tap back on road test and start from there. The left column is going to be what the technician is supposed to be looking at. So what I'm going to do is actually go down and I'm actually going to start with shifting, and I'm just going to tap on the topic with my finger. So in this case, when I tapped on it, it automatically says no issues, and it's put the status icon to good condition. I'm also going to tap a few other topics here, and I'd like you to do the same thing when you do your mock inspection. So engine performance is good, chassis is good, alignment's good, braking good, and parking brake is good. So you can see how quickly things can be done when the vehicle is in good shape. Next thing I'm going to do is draw your attention to the line here where it says clutch engagement. This particular vehicle has an automatic transmission, so there is no clutch to engage. So what I'm going to do is just ignore that topic, and it's not even going to show to the customer. I'm going to move over here where it says select condition under engine cranking. And now, because the vehicle has an issue, what I'm going to do is tap on that topic. I'm going to tap also where it says slow cranking, and you're going to see that it's automatically marked it as a fail. I'm going to move just to the right of it. I'm going to tap on select an action, and I'm going to come in here and say starter and charging system test. So you can see how quickly, when an inspection sheet is configured, you can go through and do this. Anytime anything has failed, and sometimes when things are good, we want to make sure there's a picture taken of it. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the camera icon. I'm going to open up my camera, and I'm going to go through and help you identify some of the tools that are on the screen. So initially, when it opens up, you're going to see this square box in the center and then the slider off to the right-hand side of it. What that does is it lets you adjust the area of focus and also the aperture to camera. So I'm going to move over to different spots simply by tapping on the screen. I'm going to let it adjust its focus. Then I'm going to take my finger and touch on top of the slider bar, and I'm going to raise it up or down, slide it up or down to adjust the aperture in the camera. And this is a great tool because the technician can actually adjust the camera and get great pictures without having to have any external light sources in a very large number of cases. Next thing I like to do is point out this slider here on the right hand side, and how you're going to use it is you're going to touch and slide it up to use the zoom function. So in cases where you can't get the tablet in close enough, that's a great tool to remember it's there. Over on the right hand side, this icon here is going to let you flip the camera around where it's facing back towards you, and rather than taking a selfie, we're going to use it to do something different. So let's use the example of the vehicle being in the service bay, up on a rack, and the transmission pan's leaking. Reverse that camera, take the tablet, hold it down about your waist, and look into the tablet, and then use it to snap a picture up above your shoulders. No need to lay on the ground or get a tool or creeper when we can use the camera functions to help us along. Also on this side, you're going to see a video button. That is going to allow the technician to take up to a 20-second snapshot of video, including audio. Anything that makes a noise or has any movement is something that's a great thing to actually capture a video on. A great example would be is recreating the same experience that we know that gets approvals, which would be if a vehicle had a loose ball joint and the customer was in the shop with the service writer and technician. I promise you that technician would be moving that control arm around, loading and unloading it, and showing the customer that it's popping in and out of the socket 1/4 of an inch. That's how we get approvals in the past in the paper world, but in the digital world, we can actually do that by using the tools. And the great thing is the customer doesn't have to be hanging around in the shop interrupting the technician. This little plus sign below it is going to let you take information from the camera roll on your tablet and incorporate it into the inspection sheet and repair order. Now, as soon as we get back to the screen, we want to talk about a couple other functions that are here also. So we talked about recreating the experience with the technician in the bay, and let's use the example that the vehicle has a brake fluid leak between the master cylinder and the brake booster. And in that case, we know the technician, if the customer is in the bay, they're going to take their finger and point to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool on the tablet to do the same thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply touch the red arrow, and I'm going to turn it on. And then just by dragging it around on the screen, I can change the orientation. And I can point it right to whatever I'm trying to draw their attention to. So this is your digital finger that the technician can use just like they were in a shop. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add the words where a technician might use if they were in the shop describing this to the customer. And I'm going to do that by tapping on this tablet icon. Now when I get in this area, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start using the voice to chat to save some time. And what I'm going to do is click on this microphone and enter some text. And the text is specifically to describe the picture. The red arrow is pointing directly to a Kia that has a lot of soul. And then press OK. Now I'm going to upload this picture. The next thing I want to do is describe what the service writer needs to do their job, and this is going to be a best practice on this also. I'm going to come over here and click on the green check mark at this point. And in this area, what you can see is there's a camera icon in there with a number count. This is going to let the technician tap on that camera icon and go back and see pictures that he's taken on a labor line or on an inspection topic. The great thing about looking at this is if they took a picture of some freeze frame data or maybe pre-alignment specs or things like that that they feel the need to go back and look at, that they can actually do that. So what I'm doing now is taking the text out of here so I can show you some of the function that you can use on the tablet. Again, I'm going to tap on the microphone bottom down in the bottom to use voice to text, and I'm going to just make an example here of a good way that a technician can help the service advisor. This vehicle needs to have the headlight replaced. New paragraph. Left headlamp assembly. New line. Halogen bulb. New line. Headlight wiring harness connector. New paragraph. Estimated time of completion 3.2 hours. And then click OK. What I also want to do is make sure, so we can go on to our next section, we have at least 2 tablets marked with a fault, and make sure that we have a picture taken on at least 2 topics. So I'm going to come down in here and quickly grab another picture. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to add my red arrow to it. The red arrow is pointing directly to the zoom slider. And I'm going to pause at this point and let you create your own mock inspection. Make sure you've got at least 8 topics marked good and a minimum of 2 topics marked failed, and pictures on at least 2 topics with some notes and an arrow on it.